What's up, YouTube? Timaeus here, coming to you guys from the Teen Time Writers YouTube channel. And this time, I want to do a card discussion video with you guys about my predictions for the upcoming either September or October, possibly November. So basically, the next TCG ban list. So I'm just gonna quickly go off right here. So first, predictions for what could be hits to the Forbidden. It's gonna be Max C. So I believe Maxi will be hit to 0 from this point on. It's because it's a pretty good, quick hand trap to use against your opponent, especially with the new link format, allowing you to perform a link summon more than once per turn. Well, most other link summoning conditions, can keep up the pace with consistency, and with the link, you can just keep going and going. And with the Maxi, you can also keep drawing and drawing and drawing. So to make sure that pretty much you don't get any more advantage, this is why I believe Konami is gonna hit Maxi to 0. Next, the next thing I believe that's gonna be hit to 0, it's gonna be the Zodiac Broad Ball. As you guys know, that this is the Zodiac has won the YCS again with either a true Draco variant, or a dinosaur variant, or just pure variant, or just anything that's just Zodiacs. So one of their biggest monsters to use in the deck of the Zodiacs is obviously the Zodiac Broad Ball. He gives you your searches. And this is why I believe from this point on with the meta, it's changing. So this time, Zeus will definitely be hit this time, especially because the OCG already did. And Broad Ball is going to be one to get hit. And adding on to those, I gotta say also Zodiac Barrage and Zodiac Trident. Those other two cards are pretty much what makes the Zodiac deck run. And this is why I believe that these cards will be next to get hit, so that way the Zodiacs can finally die off. Like a deck, just die off. Next, now we gotta move on to the cards that we believe that's gonna be put to the limited list, or at 1. So first of all, one of them, to start off, we gotta say the Blackwing Gofu. So a lot of people, unsurprisingly, use Gofu a lot for their decks, even though they don't run any Blackwings or anything special. And the reason being is because I didn't know about this certain combo you can do until it was on me. So with Gofu, he's a free special summon from the hand. If you control no monsters, and your opponent does, I believe. And then he gives you 2 more tokens. And since you can link summon with tokens, and they're vanillas, you can just set the tokens away, get a link spider, since he points down, you get another link spider, and then use 2 link spiders plus Gofu will give you the Decode Talker, all without taking off any more cards in your hand, and not even taking off your normal summon. So this is why I believe, you guys know Konami doesn't like to give you free stuff. So they got hit Gofu just so you don't get the free Decode Talker again. So the next card I believe that's gonna be hitting the ban list, it's gotta be Fairy Tale Snow. So Snow has been used a lot in the 60 card decks of the Light Swarms, Twilight Swarms, and because it's very, very consistent with, especially with the Twilight Swarm variant, with banishing from the graveyard, the special summon itself, and on top of all that, able to Book of Moon and revive itself multiple times. So just to keep the game more, I won't say more fair to your opponent, but to make it a little bit less annoying, they can hit Fairy Tale Snow just because. So next one that we believe that's going to be hit to the ban list, we got the Card of Demise. So I think the biggest reason why this card's going to potentially be hit in the ban list is just because it's been used a lot just for the more draw consistency. And even though it's like everybody's like, oh, you only get to have up to 3 cards. Well, that means you get plus 3 cards if that's the last card you have in your hand, first of all. And second is that you have to discard the rest of your hand during the end of your turn. You can still end up using the cards, the 3 you just drew. So it's okay if you end up with no hand at the end as long as you draw into something good. Next, we believe what's got to be hit to 1. We got to get Dragonic Diagram. So this guy is pretty much one of the most, where do I begin? It's one of the most, I won't say the most broken field spells I ever came across, but it's definitely used a lot. And I do mean a lot with the True Kings and True King Zoos and anything like that. Anything. So you guys know with Diagram, you pop a card in your hand or you control, you search out a True Draco. And when the True Draco deck topped with Diagram, also G pretty much hit that immediately. So now since True Dracos has been up with the format again, and again winning the YCS, that's why I believe that at this time or possibly the next one guaranteed after the next ban list, Dragonic Diagram's got to get hit. So the next card I believe that's going to be put to 1 is Witch of the Black Forest. And the biggest reason I believe this one is going to be put to 1 now is that during its reprint for the Duelist Saga, it's been given an errata that's almost exactly like Sangan's when he was off the ban list. So you guys know Sangan, when he's sent to the graveyard by any means, you add a monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. And Witch of the Black Forest does pretty much exactly that, just except the attack, it switches to the defense. Anything with 1500 or less defense can be added. And obviously also you cannot use the cards with the same name that you just drew and anything like that. So that's why if it's not off the balance completely, it will be put to 1. Because its new errata pretty much makes it unbroken now. So next card that's believed that's going to be off the ban list is going to be Exciton Knight. Yeah, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. So right now, when he was first hit, it's just because it was Pendulums, and he's an easy get out beat stick that can just destroy the opponent's. It could just nuke the whole field. And of course, yeah, your opponent cannot take any damage from this point on, but it doesn't matter if he uses up all his hand, But what I believe the reason why this card will be now off the ban list to just probably at 1 is because now since the Pendulum Summons the Pendulum Summon mechanic has been slowed a lot, since you don't get extra 2 zones, and with the extra monster zone you can really only Pendulum Summon 1 from the extra deck at least, unless you have a Link monster like Deco Tucker. So that's why I believe now since the Pendulum mechanic has slowed a lot, and you need Link monsters to get into the extra deck more, that's why I believe now Exciton Knight will be off the ban list. So next one at 1 that we believe is got to be Solemn Strike. So everybody knows the Solemn cards are always hitting, and surprisingly, Solemn Strike hasn't been hit yet. It's just pay 1500, you get to stop an opponent's monster being special summoned or anything like that. But I think now because it's been reprint after reprint, and now it's just getting another one on top of what we just had for its reprint. That's why I believe now, since it's just being barely used among all decks, that's why I believe it's got to be hit to 1, like all the other Solemn cards. And now speaking of the Solemn cards, I also believe that Solemn Judgment will be possibly put to 1. So you guys know with this guy, you pay half your life points to pretty much just stops anything at all. And that's why I believe now with almost all the Solemn cards giving you a cost, and this card being put to 1 is probably it's gonna help move along the deck, or not the deck, but the duel itself, because you're gonna be paying half your life points. So if you're really in the middle of your opponent's duel and everything like that, and you already have less than 5, this guy's gotta put you less than 3,000, and you gotta risk it a lot to either win it or lose it, Next card, I believe it's gotta be put to 1 is Terraforming. Terraforming, guys. This is two big reasons why this card could potentially be hit. I mean, it did get hit in the LCG, but I don't know what TCG gonna do. So, reason number one is because it says it adds any field spell. We have some pretty broken field spells coming into play here. That's like Jurassic World, the Dragonic Diagram, and anything like the sorts, you know. And the second reason why I believe it's going to be put to one is because remember, Konami is a business first before becoming the Yu-Gi-Oh! Messiah. And with this, you guys know that this guy, or those who don't know, there's going to be a trap card coming out sooner or later. It's called Metaverse. And what this trap card does is that it can either add a field spell from your deck to your hand, or it immediately allows to be activated from your deck. So, because I think that Konami wants to push this card, since you have to wait a turn, while Terraforming you don't. They want to push this card more into probably some people's decks, and that's why I believe Terraforming would be put to 1, if not hit at 0. I hope it's at 1. Next, I believe that's going to be put to 1. It's got to be Level Eater. So, you guys know with Level Eater, he can bring himself back from the graveyard whenever the controller has a level 5 or higher monster and reduces that monster's level by 1. So, what I think that he's going to be put to 1 just because he could be very useful with some of the link materials. So he could be another effect monster to be put away, or to get Decode Talker, or just Proxy Dragon, Gaia Saber. And since he's also level 1, and you guys know, or those who don't know yet, there's going to be a Link monster for Kuriboh coming out called Link Kuriboh, which all he requires is level 1 monster. And Link Kuriboh's effect is pretty good, actually. He doesn't target or anything like that to the opponent's monster. He just says when an opponent's monster declares an attack, it can reduce the opponent's monster's attack to 0. So that's very good. So that's why I believe the Level Eater would be put to 1. And then next, I believe that's going to be hit. It's going to be off the ban list to 1 is Spellbook of Judgment. So since I believe that since we had the new spellbook support coming out, the Spellbook of Knowledge, I pulled the whole set. I believe that Konami is probably going to keep going. The Spellbook is a very popular and fan favorite deck. I tried to run it at one point until Judgment got hit. So now, as you guys know, the Mermail Master is running the spellbooks. So, with that in mind, that's why I believe that it's going to be put to 1, just so fans everywhere can start running the deck again, and probably can see it in YCS. I would love to see spellbooks again in the YCS. And then lastly, what we believe is going to be put to 1, Gateway of the Six Samurai. So I believe that it's going to be put to 1. It's because we're getting more Six Samurai support in form of those new spirit guys. They're getting another fusion monster. They just got another monster who can just copycat any of their effects. So now I believe they want to push that more, the Six Samurai hype, because it's still also a very popular deck. That's why I believe that they're going to put that guy to 1, finally, I hope. Because if they do that, that card's got to skyrocket in price, you know. Konami is a business again, so let's see what they do. So I believe that's the last of it? Yeah. So now we gotta move on quickly to the cards I believe that's gonna be hit to 2. So first, I believe Dark Arm Dragon. So you guys know he needs at least 3 Dark Attribute monsters in the graveyard to be special summoned from the graveyard, and then you banish a Dark Attribute from the graveyard to special summon him. So I believe he's going to be put to 2 because there hasn't been a lot of dark decks that have been going on very popularly, you know? And on top of all that, putting him 2 now, you know, you want to just keep the thing going. And so, because again, I think it's because he hasn't been used a lot recently, or probably in a long time. That's why I believe he's just going to be put to 2. You know, let's just see what happens. So next one I believe is going to be put to 2 is the Pot of Desires. So, Even though it's got a somewhat a heavy cost of banishing the top 10 from your deck to draw 2, it's still a +1, first of all. And secondly, since it's reprinted and now it's a guaranteed promo for the Mega Tins, and it's now in every deck. I'm sure Konami wants to stop guys from using 3 of these guys. Probably just put a 2. I mean, I would actually already use 2 in my decks, but again, let's just see what Konami does. Next, I believe it's got to be the Book of Moon. And so, you guys know with the Link monsters, they cannot be put to defense mode by any means, because they don't have any defense, first of all. So now with the new Link format, that's why I think the Book of Moon is going to be put to 2 now. Next, we got Insector Hornet and Insector Dragonfly. So, since Insectors haven't been a name for itself for quite a while, I think it's going to be put to 2 now. So it's about time these guys get off the ban list and see how they can combat the new meta with the Trick Stars, the Zoos, the True King Zoos. The next I also believe that's going to be put to 2 is the Mathematician. So this guy, again, is very useful and everything like that. He's been put to a lot of decks that don't even require spellcasters. So they just need him just to get out the rank plays or the link plays to get him out. Because he's just pretty much, you could get out Proxy Dragon, Gaia Saber. He can get you a lot of cards. So next, we believe that's going to be put to 2 is the Tour Guide of the Underworld. And the reason being is that you guys know there's got to be a new Burning Abyss Link monster that was confirmed by Konami, along with the Glider Beast Link monster and at least 18 more or 20 more very popular monsters or decks actually. So sorry, hang on. Let me start over one more time. So yeah, Glider Beast and the Burning Abyss are getting new Link monsters that's been confirmed, along with Spirals that was already on the way. So Konami pretty much confirmed that there's gotta be 20 Link monsters that are exclusive to a certain archetype or deck that's very popular. As long I heard it's not supposed to be anime based. So I'll do a discussion video about that later. So with that, I also believe preparation of rites, because now I think it's because those Vendread monsters, or again, you just want to keep the pace going with the ritual guys. A lot of people like ritual monsters. So just to keep the consistency going a little further, I think Konami's gonna put that from 1 to 2. And then lastly, I think the cards that would be off the ban list, so at 3, unlimited. We got Dragon's Ravine, just Dragonides and Felgrand. I haven't been using the card. There's no reason for Dragon's Ravine to be at 2 at this point on, you know? So just get it off the ban list, since let's see how it combats the meta. Next we got Debris Dragon. I think it's because there's a restriction of needing a dragon type monster to be tuned with, and on top of that, it cannot be another 4. And with the leak format slowing everything down, including the synchro summons, that's why I believe it's got to be put to 3. Next we got, you guys might be surprised on this one, the TCG Hyper Librarian. So I believe this card would be put to 3 now, because again, everything is slowed down, and he's either got to take up your extra monster zone, or with a Link monster, he'll take up a different zone. So just to keep the synchro consistency going at least more, he could be off the ban list, so you could just keep getting out TCG Hyper Librarians. You could just keep drawing the more your synchro summon, so far as the Link monsters will be nice to you. And I also believe Thunder King Ryo is going to be put to 3, just to see, combat the meta. And then lastly, Charge of the Light Brigade. So I think it's just because they want to keep the Twilight Swords or the Light Swords hype train going. Putting that card to 3 can help them a lot. So that's gonna be it, you guys. Those are my predictions for the next TCG ban list. Timaeus here is gonna sign out. Please like and subscribe for always more content. Comment our videos. We do uh, we do comment back, and then we'll see you guys on the next video for the Team Time Riders.